right, welcome back to Fat Bois Anime with our boy Nick, Nogs, and myself.
Ohio.
And myself, Tyler. Let's get it. Today we're going to be going into food, all food-related topics in anime. What kind of food we eat in anime, what kind of foods we've seen in anime that we wish we could eat, and then we're also going to get into a little bit of our Twitter polls we've been doing lately, as well as some huge anime news. So, get ready.
Let's get it, boys. I'm excited for this one. I just love food, man. This topic in general, it doesn't have to be anime food, but food in general just gets me hyped up. So let's do it, boys. Come on now.
What's been going on the Twitter though?
All right, let me drop y'all some Twitter polls. Okay, so if y'all had to guess on this poll, I had which anime return are you more excited for, Bleach or Hunter? You know, I'm just gonna pronounce it, bro. I don't care. Bleach or Hunter x Hunter. Which one?
That's it. Let's go ahead and just stop that right there. I think I'm done. I'm going to walk away after that.
This guy, man, I swear. You know what? I feel like we just got to make this part of the podcast. It's like when Tyler messes, you know what I mean? Take a shot. We'll make that a drinking game one of these days.
Okay, so
every time Tyler mispronounces something.
You're right. Oh, man, that might be a long podcast. That's all I know.
Okay, so for the noobs, how are you supposed to pronounce that show? Do you just say Hunter E. Hunter or what?
You talking about me? Did you just call me a noob? I know you ain't talking to me.
No, he said for the noobs, man.
For the noobs. I was like, what? What is going on here, man? This guy's coming at me or something or what, man? So what you're saying is, so on our Twitter, this is a poll that you did, correct?
Yes.
Just for anyone who might be listening or might be unsure?
Yeah.
And you could always go to our Twitter account and kind of get involved on these debates. And we're probably going to be incorporating them in a lot of our podcast talks, which is going to be fun because we really want this podcast to be interactive with everyone that listens to it. And then, you know what? We're just going to get in and just roast why Tyler's usually wrong on all this stuff.
Yeah. And, hey, if y'all interact on our Twitter, I'll interact back. I mean, if you say your favorite anime of all time is Pokemon, I'm probably going to be really disappointed. But on the Twitter, I'll give you a thumbs up and be like, bro, that's awesome.
So if you want Tyler sliding in your DMs, go hit us up.
Yeah. You know what? Chances are you're probably going to beat Tyler in the one-on-one debate, all right? So take it easy on him if you guys do. But I mean, you know what? He's still learning. So what were the results? What was everyone saying?
Okay, well, if you had to predict, which one do you think was more popular? What would you guys have guessed?
Between Hunter x Hunter or Bleach? Personally, I go Hunter x Hunter.
Are you saying you like Hunter x Hunter more? Is that what you're thinking? Or?
Yeah, that's what I'm more excited about coming back in 21.
Okay. So my opinion is I think Bleach was a lot bigger, way more just anime that people were into as compared to Hunter x Hunter. I think that, its peak was higher than Hunter x Hunter right now. With that being said, I think a lot more people are excited for Hunter because the way Bleach left off and kind of just disappeared for a long, long, long time. Everyone was kind of just left with a sour taste in their mouth. So I'm thinking that people are going to be more excited for Hunter.
All right. So I was personally surprised because I had thought Bleach was going to be slightly favored just because, like you said, it left off horribly, but I just figured, Bleach probably has a slightly bigger fan base, but it was 77% for Hunter x Hunter and 23% for Bleach. So what is that? I'm trying to do with this math. What is that? Was that 4 to 1?
Carry the two. Switch to Wombo.
That's why I'm a PE teacher. Well, okay, I'm not. Is that 4 to 1? I don't know. The point is that way more people were excited for Hunter x Hunter Bleach. I was pretty surprised, but I mean, like you said, I think a lot of people after watching, Gon lose his powers and stuff at the end of the anime, there's a lot of hype, just for any return for that anime in general. Whereas Bleach kind of they kind of got to earn back some of their respect.
I agree, man.
So you think Hunter x Hunter, they're going to do a time skip type thing? Just come back with Gon living a normal life for a while and then slowly rebuild his powers? Or how does that work?
I feel like they have to do somewhat of a time skip, right?
Yeah, they can't just pick it up where it left off. Be like, yeah, we were recording yesterday. It's good.
The question is, how long of the time skip is it going to be? and how his gun going to be how is he going to be like when he's adjusted without his power if it is
it's like 80 years later when he's on his deathbed. It's just one episode.
That would be like, you know what, I'm out. All right, I'm going to head out. I'm going to click to the next channel and watch Bleach. But I mean, I don't know. So kind of like back to what Tyler said, Hunter, right? Hunter x Hunter, like, I don't know. It just kept you wanting more, which with Bleach, you got like the best when you talked about the Hollow arc, you had like one of the best animes of all time. Like one of the best MCs, you had one of the best like villains in Aizen. They just kind of ruined all that when they went to the Fullbringer arc, and it was just a flat dud. And everyone was just kind of like, usually an anime is supposed to get better. And in Bleach case, they kind of got worse, which was the unfortunate part. And on top of that, when's the last time the anime aired? We have to look that up.
I think
it's been like. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think the Bleach anime ran from 2004 to 2012, I believe.
2012, so it's already been 8 years since we're gonna get the last season. And then a lot of the hardcore fans, like you're saying, they got so tired of waiting for the anime. We all just read the manga, and we already read the end of it. So yeah. It's like we really know, because like with anime in general, like I feel like a lot of the fans are kind of half and half. Sometimes you got like a lot of those hardcore fans that read the manga right away. And then those who are just want to wait it out and really just watch the anime and not look up any spoilers. But like with Bleach, I felt like a lot of people were forced to read the manga and kind of figure out what happened. Because, I mean, there's uncertainty. We didn't know if we were going to get this final season of Bleach. So, I mean, it's kind of just, I think there's going to be a lot of relief in this season. I mean, if it follows the manga, it should be good. It should be pretty intense. But, I mean, without spoiling anything, I think he kind of lays an egg at the end still, which is unfortunate. So I think a lot of us hardcore fans kind of already know what to expect.
So, I mean, this is probably a dumb question for the manga readers, but Hunter x Hunter, is the manga still going, or is this just going to be like a purely anime adaptation for season 7? Because I haven't really seen much of like the manga after Gon loses his powers.
I haven't read Hunter x Hunter, so I unfortunately don't have the answer. I bet one of our fans is going to give us, DM us and give us the answer, or maybe, maybe I'll start reading it. But that's kind of one of those ones I've been saving up on. So, I mean, Nick, back to Nick, you're excited more for Hunter, right? Is that just because you like the anime better, or is there any real reason why you're looking for?
It's also the driving story for Hunter x Hunter.
Okay.
Like Hunter x Hunter, I looked it up. They have 5% filler. So it's always something's being added to the storyline. Where if you watch Bleach, Bleach, they have 46% filler. That's like one of the top 3 in long-running animes.
That's how you get it running, though.
Yeah. If you're watching it now, I'd watch it abridged.
Yeah.
And just skip all the filler episodes.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things that contributes a lot to me for watching anime is how much filler it actually has. I'm not a big fan.
This goes back to why Nick's not the biggest Naruto fan.
Yeah. Exact same reason.
Yeah. I mean, just these... I mean, like Bleach, I mean, Naruto, since we brought it up, those ones will always just hold a soft spot in my heart, because those were some of the like first couple of animes, aside from, that Golden Age and Toonami, that I just really loved, and had an emotional connection with a lot of the characters in it, and just kind of grew up with those animes for over years and years. So I don't know, man. I'm personally okay. So what I'm most excited for is Bleach, but now I'm gonna have to go rewatch. I'll probably rewatch all of Bleach, honestly, just to refresh my mind. That's just man, it's just what you got to do. And
is there a character you're really attached to though? Because I feel like a lot of the characters in Bleach are kind of forgettable.
I mean, are you, just aside from Ichigo, I think
aside from the main character,
I think Renji's actually pretty relatable, man. He's someone who's kind of goofy, but wasn't like super crazy talented, but someone who's always really worked hard. You know what I mean? Type of deal.
Is that Vegeta type character? I guess.
Yeah, and he has a good relationship with Ichigo. Kind of like hates him at first, but then turns into like honestly them becoming like really good best friends almost. I really like Renji a lot in that. Orihime, she's my girl.
Yeah. I'm pretty
Rukia. I like Rukia. I mean, what about you, Tyler? I know you're a big Bleach fan.
Oh man, okay. I mean, I will say, like Nick mentioned, Bleach's fillers. It's second only to Naruto, just in the amount, and it drives me crazy. But I'm super excited to see Kenpachi's Bankai, Because Kenpachi, he's one of my favorite anime characters just in general. I mean, he's very similar to Zoro, who might be my favorite anime character of all time. So Kenpachi's Bankai, getting to see adult Toshiro, Kisuke's Bankai, and then also just to get to see Ichigo's true, what do you call it, his true Shinigami form. I mean, Ichigo has like a million forms, but it's going to be cool to see his true end of series form. I'm excited.
Ichigo end of series, man, it's crazy. That final form of his, the end of series Ichigo, is always up for debate as one of the strongest anime characters. I mean, in the manga, it's pretty sick to see him, so I think you'll be pretty excited about that.
And I mean, if they can, I think it'd be tough to top Ichigo versus Yuki-Ora or Ichigo versus Grimmjow. But I've heard, the fight with, I can't even pronounce that guy's name, like Yawech or something. That's going to be pretty cool to see. And Bleach, they usually do an amazing job with their, their big boss fights. They have real high caliber animation. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I'm looking forward to that fight, but like I said, if it holds anything true to the manga, I'm gonna be a little dissatisfied. So you guys are gonna have to tune in though. Like a lot of you Beast fans that have read it already know what I'm talking about. But a lot of people have been waiting for this anime. Read it, enjoy it, or watch it, enjoy it, and let us know what you guys think when it comes out. Man, we're pretty excited overall about both animes. I think we could all agree about that.
We might have to do like a live episode reaction since we haven't read the mangas yet.
Yeah, that would be that'd probably be a good anime. There's a bunch of good anime coming out this year that we're gonna have to do some reactions because I'm expecting a lot of crazy stuff to happen in them too. So like Attack on Titan being one of the first 2 episodes dropped.
Dun, 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 dun. It gets me hyped already.
Demon Slayer is gonna be something that we're gonna have to do some reaction videos about. There's it's pretty endless right now. We'll see it. What other polls do you got for us, Tyler?
All right. See, I already knew where this poll was, but I know this is going to make some people sad. So this poll it said, okay, this might be a hot take, but does anyone else feel like Digimon is better than Pokemon strictly concerning the anime? And then the poll was Pokemon anime or Digimon anime. So what do y'all think happened?
Oh, Nick, go ahead. I'll let you take the first chop at this.
You asked a leading question, so you're like trying to incite a response from the audience.
Oh no!
So I don't think that's even a fair question to start because you're trying to tell them which way you wanted them to go.
Right. I gotta say,
I feel like Tyler is pretty biased on a lot of these questions. Like Tyler, who you're leaning towards Digimon, right?
Oh, of course.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean. Yeah. This dude, the way, like when Nick said, you just set it up for to say like Digimon's better. All right, Nick's all right. Give us your opinion and tell us why Tyler's probably trash, or maybe why you agree with him.
No, but if you look at the quality of the monsters and how memorable each monster is in Pokemon versus Digimon, that's why Pokemon will always be hands down.
Ooh, he said Pokemon. So, okay, you know what? I feel like we just got to get this out of the way. Who's your guy? Actually, no, we can save this for later. I was going to say, who's your favorite Pokemon? And then I was going to do the big question of, like, let's line it up. Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander, who you picking? But we'll do that, like, in a couple weeks or something, because I'm sure we're going to talk about childhood anime.
Yeah, I like that.
So, okay, but, I'm just kind of thinking out of the main cast of Digimon... And like let's think about like kind of like the big like 5 or 6 Pokemons that might be the equivalent. Do you still feel like the top 5 Digimon versus like the top 5 like Pokemon are kind of bigger names still? You think as compared to each other?
It is, but I'm so biased in one direction. It's not fair.
So I think I'm honestly leaning towards. So honestly, if you're asking what anime I like better. I think I gotta side with Digimon a little more because I kind of like the action, the fighting a little better. But if you're asking me what a more memorable anime is, I think it's hands down Pokemon. Kind of like one of the main reasons, like Nick says, I think a lot of people recognize Pokemon a lot more and they kind of just have a bigger face like all around the world in general. But I mean, anime, I'm leaning towards Digimon that I personally like better. But I mean, If you're asking me if I'd want a Digimon or Pokemon, I think I'd want a Pokemon instead.
Yeah, I mean, Pokemon are easier to use. All you got to do is open up your little ball. But Digimon, you got to like become friends with them. You got to link your souls, and then sometimes you try to Digivolve, and they turn into an evil Digimon. I mean, it's just it's way too much effort.
And if you're strictly looking from like a character development standpoint, I could see the argument for Digimon.
Exactly.
Because Ash is still the same 8-year-old that he was at the start of the show.
So frustrating.
Well, we got.
Did he ever actually earn any badges, or was it just strictly given to him?
I was gonna say I think majority was just given to him. Oh man, no! What you gotta do, my boy Ash, dirty like that? It's so true though. It's so true. But hey, honestly, going back to one of our old topics, I would pick Ash and Pikachu as a duo versus Matt and Ty.
Okay. Well, if you do it like that, then you gotta go Matt. No wait, you gotta go Ty and Greymon. You can't go Ty and Matt because they're kind of like they're.
Oh, okay. Let's make it instead of picking Greymon right away. Let's like make it a little more fair for Pikachu,
like Agumon,
and do like Agumon. You know what I mean?
Well, hey, here's a huge thing. Pikachu can't talk, bro. All he says is Pikachu.
Pikachu can talk? What are you talking about?
Pika Pika. That's all I need to say.
What was that movie from like 2018?
Oh,
that new one?
Where he said, "It's 'cause I love you."
Isn't that where Ash dies or something, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Just kidding.
Whoa.
Gotcha. I was going to say I'm like 2-3 years late anyways, but
I mean, at least
let's all be real. We knew he wasn't dying. Or did he?
At least
I ain't spoiling anything.
at least he did something. He should have after 1,000 episodes. All right, so the numbers came in, and we had 67% for Digimon, 33% for Pokemon.
I mean, I get it. I think a lot of people like Digimon, like just watching it a lot better. But I mean, come on, man. Let's see if you're like at an arcade and you see like one of those claw games of one of like Agumon versus, and there's one of Pikachu right next to it. I bet you everyone's going for Pikachu.
Well, yeah, I mean, Digimon's not nearly as recognizable. Like, I couldn't even tell you the name of maybe more than 10 Digimon, and it's just everybody knows Pokemon. I mean, they had the card game. I used to buy little booklets that had all the Pokemon evolutions and stuff. I mean, I think the Pokemon franchise is better. I'll give that to Pokemon.
So if Tyler was,
I say you throw away the results when we repoll that one.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking
that wasn't fair.
You know that like the equivalence Tyler is to like a Pokemon. This dude's Magikarp, but like Magikarp can't evolve, so he's never gonna get to Gyarados. He's just staying Magikarp.
Bro, the disrespect out here, bro. You're that duck that looks like a polygon. What's the name? Isn't it Polyduck?
Polyduck?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I know what you're talking about. I remember, I could picture the Pokemon card in my head, but I can't remember the name. Polyduck. It probably is Polyduck. I was gonna say Psyduck because that's the first duck that came into my mind. But
bro, there was too many Pokemon. That's all I'll say.
Alrighty. So, I mean, what other poll questions did we have today?
All right, this is our final poll for today, and this was also our closest poll. And I didn't really have a dog in this fight, so I just laid it out. I said, you drop these two in a buffet, who's finishing all the food first? And this ties in food topic, but the choices were Goku or Luffy from One Piece.
Goku or Luffy? Ooh, Nick, I'm gonna take you first stab at it too. Again, go ahead. It's all you.
Okay, I haven't heard this question yet, so I'm kind of thinking. I think it's unfair for Luffy with his rubber powers, right? Because he could just expand his stomach and keep eating. So he could basically just eat forever.
He's on it.
It's basically on his energy and his strength, right?
He does get full though. If you remember in the anime, there's a lot of times where he just stays huge and he can't. And he's like kind of fat for a while, which is pretty funny. But so he does get full. Goku gets full too. The question is, who you taking, man? You're going to the chills challenge.
Taking Luffy.
You're taking Luffy. Okay. I mean, that's it. In all honesty, I'm taking Luffy too, specifically for his devil fruit power, man. Just because he is rubber, I feel like he's gonna be able to stretch a lot more. I bet you. In all honesty, though, I think Goku will be able to eat quicker. You know what I mean? More like a lot faster than Luffy, but Actually, I wouldn't even say that because Luffy just expands himself and shovels it all in at once. Goku has to take bites still. I got to go with Luffy.
Mm-hmm. I see how you try to make the argument, because if you do like most pies in 10 minutes or something,
Exactly.
then maybe Goku could still hang, but I think Luffy would pull ahead.
I just think about it. If he like, ballooned himself up and just like shoveled all his food in his mouth all like widely, like he could eat everything all at once. I don't like that's not possible for Goku.
Yeah.
But Goku eats crazy fast though.
Yeah, Goku.
All those Saiyans do, man, which is insane.
Goku could go mastered Ultra Instinct and just eat like everything on Earth. He'd probably die,
Ooh.
but he's definitely got the speed advantage.
What'd you say, Tyler?
So I was kind of pulling for my boy Goku, but our poll came out. It was 56% Luffy and 44% Goku. And I would say that's probably accurate, because if you drop him in a buffet, Luffy hands down could smack a buffet no problem. Like when he's fighting Cracker in the Whole Cake Island arc, this dude literally eats an army of crackers. I mean, as far as feats, like Luffy definitely has more eating feats compared than Goku does.
I don't know what this, like, not that Goku ever ate anyone, but I remember this. I can't remember what episode it is now that I think about it, but he was fighting Majin Buu, but they were scrapping, and then, or it was Kid Buu, I should say, but they were scrapping, and next thing I know, they were biting each other for a quick second. That part just like, I don't know, just talking about food and like eating. Since Luffy ate Cracker's army, that just reminded me when Goku fought Kid Buu and they just like started biting each other in the middle of their fight. That part cracked me up. I mean, did you want Goku to win, Tyler? Like, without seeing the poll, who do you think was gonna win? Were you shooting for? I know you said you were kind of rooting for Goku. Did you think Goku would actually win?
I was kind of thinking Goku might win, just because, I mean, he was kind of one of the first big anime characters that, like, that was his characteristic, is this fool just throws down on the food. But I think kind of at this point in time, especially with some of the younger audience on Twitter, I would have to say, unfortunately, Luffy has probably surpassed Goku in fandom. I think, at least in the social media audience. So it makes sense that Luffy.
I agree, man. So that was our last poll for the day, right? So if any of you guys want to weigh in on this topic, go at Tyler, man. DM him. Hop on the polling results again and just tell him he's wrong, like always. Or tell us why, me and Nick are wrong. We could have been wrong too, but I think there's a good chance that it was probably Tyler who was wrong.
I mean, if you think Ash and Pikachu can eat more food than Luffy, tell me why. I mean, you're definitely wrong, but I'll entertain it. I'll say, okay, I can see your point.
I like it though. So yeah, if everyone, you guys we want to be interactive with you, like I said before. So hop on. Tyler's pretty active, and he's gonna give you guys a run for his money, man. We like giving him a hard time, but this dude's on it, man, and he's gonna come at you guys. So you guys better be ready if you want to go and step on that ladder and try to take him on. So
yeah.
Good luck with that,
man. Oh, and then those, the power scaling community. You guys are pretty savage. I just got into power scaling like a couple months ago. So if you want that smoke on there, just let us know.
We'll be talking about power scaling too in the near future. That's for sure. What do we got next? What's our next topic leading into today?
I mean, y'all want to get into that big news that Nick dropped on us a couple days ago?
I like the big news, Nick. What did you hear? What's the big news?
Check out this news story. So, Crunchyroll is owned by AT&T in the US, right?
Yep.
Crunchyroll was bought out by Sony Pictures, more specifically Funimation.
Holy crap.
Oh, there it is. I was about to say, if you just said Sony, I was like, doesn't Sony own Funimation right now? Man, that's interesting. Any like highlight on why that whole deal went down? Is there any news on that specifically, or?
No, there's some speculation I've been reading, but basically it's like they have to try to team up if they're going to stay relevant against these bigger names like Netflix, who is starting to pump out a lot of different anime, or Hulu is getting into the game too. They just have to stay relevant and big enough to be able to battle bigger foes.
I think that's a good move that Crunchyroll, or I mean technically AT&T sold them over to Sony, because I think Sony has a lot of experience in like this specific genre, anime specifically, obviously. So I think they're gonna be able to lead it down the correct path that it needs to go to. I think AT&T, they don't have to me, I feel like they probably don't have that much skin in the game as far as like anime experience and not like kind of like really knowing how to market it or and like where to go in the future with it. So I can see why they sold it. I mean, I'm assuming they probably just wanted to build up a bunch of cash too and work with some of their other because I might be wrong, but I think like AT&T has like works with like HBO, right? Or HBO is owned by AT&T or something like that. So I bet you they're probably going to want to get some projects out with HBO here soon. Now, with this pandemic, and they're going to want to try to compete with all those big ones. So I like it, man. I think it's good. I think it's good for both sides.
The thing that Crunchyroll did really have is they had a better GUI. So their graphical user interface was much better than Funimation's. And of course, their database in general, they had far more.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to see them combining and bringing together this massive entity that is whatever they want to call it.
So I'm curious how they're going to do that. Like, if you get one subscription, are you going to have it to both of them? Are they just can combine it all the way? Like, well, you know what I mean? Like, in my opinion, I like Crunchyroll a lot more better because the apps on your phone are just like when you log onto your TV is a little easier to navigate and it kind of just cooperates a lot better. That's in my opinion as compared to Funimation. I feel like I have problems with Funimation. For some reason, it freezes a lot. I don't think it's as like user friendly that like I would like personally like it to be. Don't get me wrong, it's not rocket science, but this is just me kind of nitpicking and comparing the two against each other.
Yeah, and I think I like that this is their game is anime, because I don't think we would necessarily be getting a great product if at the end of the day it was just Hulu and Netflix dishing out all the anime. I mean, they don't, like Netflix, for example, a lot of times they won't even drop a full series, or one thing they do that's really annoying is they'll kind of like make their own version of what a season 1 and season 2 is. Like their Hunter season 1 and season 2 is all messed up, and that's not the actual season 1 season 2. So I think it's great that we're gonna have another huge competitor, especially one that's what they do is just anime. I don't think we necessarily want Netflix having the ability to stream all anime.
And I'm hoping that they not do it like Anthony said and keep them separate, but do start fresh. Yeah. So Sony Pictures just creates a whole new interface, right, and they start throwing money at it. So they have their own producers, their own development team, and then they back some of these mangas to actually get produced in-house.
So what they need to start doing, and this is going to lead into some interesting news. It's not as big as that news that Nick dropped, but I think it's important. I think it's news for us specifically because we've talked about this anime a couple of times. But you know what I think they're going to have to start doing is producing live action animes, because I think one of the big competitors, like you guys said, is Netflix, and they do a lot of live action animes. And kind of going into that, Tyler, guess what anime is just about to get its own live action? It hits home to heart, man. And you brought this up on your duo. Is on this anime you had them, the two of the characters on your duo list. Any ideas what anime it is? Cheat sheet, Spirit Gun.
Oh, we got that Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho announced to be getting a live action adaptation, man, with Netflix. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of live action, but I don't know. It's Yu Yu Hakusho, so I'm gonna be into it. I'm definitely gonna watch it. That's for sure. What do you guys think?
I gotta watch.
Just the simple cost of doing a live action anime seems hard to do without a large budget.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So how are you going to do it and do it well and actually show all the moves correctly and stuff?
All the big power
and not come off like an Avatar The Last Airbender live action type thing.
We won't talk about that. Dang it. So that's going to be the tough part, right? Like obviously one of the most exciting things about Yu Yu Hakusho is when Yusuke uses his spirit gun. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to do that. Man, I better start getting jacked. Maybe I could, put my name in the hat for Toguro. You know what I mean? What the heck? That's probably true. I'm not the tallest person out there, but I'd like to think I'd be Toguro. You know what I mean? All jacked, like 7 foot.
Bro, if we
we
dyed Nick's hair orange, he could almost be a Kuwabara. Sometimes his haircut be.
So did you guys know the person who was the author for Yu Yu Hakusho is also the author for Hunter x Hunter?
What?
Yeah. Togashi, he's done both of them, so that's been pretty.
He just sleeps on stacks.
I know, this guy's just chilling, man. But yeah, so he's getting live adaptation with Yu Yu Hakusho, so we'll see. We'll have to maybe post they have some cover art with it, and it looks kind of cool. It doesn't look awful.
I mean,
I
think the disadvantage though that they have when they do live actions is animes, they look 10 times better than if you watch, an Avengers cartoon. I mean, the animation's just top tier. But then when you're watching a live action, especially if it's a Western audience that isn't used to watching that, they're going to compare that to, Avengers Endgame, which it's probably not going to be quite as, on par quality-wise for a live action. So, I mean, I hope it does well, and hopefully they make some big bucks. They can start, like Nick said, getting bigger budgets, because I think that it does put them, it's kind of out of their wheelhouse when they're doing live action compared to the regular anime.
It would be much easier to try to start with something that's a bit more casual. I'm thinking like Your Lie in April or something like that, where it doesn't have a whole lot to it, but it's more driven by story.
So
so it'd be a lot easier.
I think that's a great idea. You know what's taking off right now? For me personally, it's taking off. I think that it's starting to get a lot more popular in general, but it's Korean dramas. All right, I don't need you guys to judge me, but K-dramas, you guys on Netflix, watch some K-dramas. Don't you guys laugh at me, man. You guys gotta watch some K-dramas. You're gonna sit down with your lady and you guys are gonna be into it, I swear. My lady doesn't watch it with me, so don't judge me, all right? I'm trying to get.
Are you watching like The Bachelorette set in Seoul, in South Korea, or what?
No, they got good storylines. But that when you brought up Your Lie in April, that could be essentially. I mean, that'd be your Japanese drama, but you could build a storyline like a K-drama, and people are really into those. You do that with some of these, dramatic, slice of life animes, and I bet you they would actually turn out pretty solid.
Yeah.
So that's actually not a bad idea at all.
I mean, low key though, if they did have a Korean Bachelor, I'd probably watch it.
Don't ever disrespect a K-drama.
Yeah.
Don't you ever disrespect it, man. I ain't watching The Bachelor and Bachelorette over here like some people. Yeah, I'm talking to you, boy.
Boy, I would say Bachelor might have more action than Pokemon.
Alright, so everyone, like I said, DM Tyler and tell him why he is trash, because he does kind of run all of our socials, so just get at this dude and just dig into it. Because I feel like me and Nick tell him all the time, and this guy just doesn't understand already. He's a chump. Let's call it as it is. I mean, we're all chumps, let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, I've been laying pretty low on there so far, but as more of these episodes come out and I start releasing more polls, I already know they're gonna be coming for me.
It's like those memes where it's like how you fit, like how you look versus how you really look, and that's Tyler. Tyler sees himself looking like Toguro, and then like what he really looks like is just Elder Toguro.
Netflix adaptation.
Yeah, the Netflix.
I've just got long gray hair. It looks like all I drink is Coca-Cola and potato chips. I mean, that's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate.
Honestly, it's probably pretty accurate for all of us over here. We could be real about, you know what? What do we got coming next, boys? I'm excited for this next one.
Are you ready?
About to go full Bankai.
Bankai? Yeah. Oh, Nick, that was perfect, bro. Exactly. All right. So now we're going to get into not only what kind of foods we love to eat as we're watching anime, but maybe what foods have we seen in anime that we're just like, gosh, dang, I might give my left belly button if I could have that right now.
Okay, do you guys eat a lot? I mean, let's just start it off like this. We'll kind of work our way there. Do you guys eat a lot of Japanese food, just casually, or like, do you guys eat any Japanese food at all, or do you guys just stick to that American?
I feel like Japanese food is about a once a week occurrence.
That's actually, I think that's a decent amount, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And Tyler, what about you?
Well, ramen is technically, what is that? It originated in Korea or Thailand?
Well, come on, man. We're giving ramen to Japanese.
Technically.
Because we're talking about anime, all right?
Actually.
Technically, American doesn't really have its own food, all right? We get it, man. We get it. You eat ramen, all right? Do you eat ramen, Tyler?
Yes, I do eat ramen, boy.
Don't question me. How often do you eat ramen? We're not talking about instant ramen, like going out and eating some good quality, You know, you got some cashew pork in there, type of ramen.
What?
All right, if we're talking about some miso ramen, ooh, with some of those Naruto flakes and get the extra pork in there. Maybe like once a month.
Once a month? Okay, this guy's a chump.
I know, I'm
Just
trash.
go ahead. Nick, get him. Nick, get him.
It has to be at least once a week when I'm watching anime. Because when you're watching anime with good food in it, it only makes you want to eat that food
it's
more,
so
right?
Bad. It's so bad.
So anything ramen, takoyaki,
Yes.
onigiri,
Oh, yeah.
like any rice omelets, anything like that.
This guy knows.
All the time,
I'm telling you, man.
All the
Me
time.
and this guy are on the same page right now. So that's why I'm loving it, man.
Dang.
Rice omelets, onigiri.
Because every time we go out to eat, we always get ramen, huh?
It's hard.
I don't know if we've gotten anything else.
All right, so I think we all love ramen. What anime? And I feel like we all might have the same answer. What anime got you guys into ramen?
I mean, I feel like they might have ate ramen in Dragon Ball Z. I can't remember, but the GOAT.
They did.
They kind of like, mention it, but
they ate ramen in it.
But you ain't touching that ramen shop in Naruto.
Did you say Baruto? This guy
Yeah,
just say Baruto?
I probably did. I had too many shots of espresso, I think.
I was getting hyped, so I kind of like missed that first part. And I was like, Baruto, what the heck? I'm just kidding. No, I mean, that's Ichiraku ramen, man. That's what did it for me. Nick, I'm assuming you too, maybe?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Have you guys heard that theory about what's the guy's name at Ichiraku?
I don't even know his name, honestly. I just know as a ramen
But the theory
guy.
is that his eyes were always closed because he has a special eyes
Ooh, like
that helped him
shotty
infuse
guy.
chakra into the ramen.
Ooh.
You gotta look this up. It's like a whole conspiracy
What the
theory
heck?
on it.
I've heard,
But that's why it's like the best ramen out there is because he infuses chakra into the ramen.
so the one theory I heard with him is that he was part of like the fourth Hokage's team when they were younger, because it shows like this like little boy with right next to Minato, and he has those squinty eyes and they're like the same skin color as the ramen guy. So that's the one I heard. I haven't heard that one though. I gotta look that one up. That one seems pretty fun.
Like he might low key have the double Rinnegan, and he just throws a little bit of Sage of Six Paths in every bite.
You know what I miss? Remember when we were in college, guys, and we used to have a couple ramen shops right by across the street from our campus that we all went to college at. But there was this one, ironically named Naruto, of course. Man, you know what I miss? I miss going and getting ramen over there. That place was fire.
It'd be like 10:30 a.m. We'd skip class, skip a test, go get some beer and ramen, and that's how it worked out.
That is
Like,
true.
I don't need to go to that class.
That is true,
Nah.
man. Because it's literally just right across the street from like one of my main buildings. Oh man, it was the worst temptation. Like the last couple years in college.
Was it when they first opened? You had it like 5 times in a week, right?
Oh yeah, it was beautiful.
Something like that.
I had to try like all the ramens like right consecutively off the bat. They had this curry ramen
Oh God!
with some brisket in it. Oh, it was delicious, man. And like they made it like nice and soupy still. It wasn't like too thick of curry, but oh man, it's just like the noodles would just kind of dissolve in your mouth, and like that brisket, that brisket would just pull apart. It's just nice and juicy. Oh man! All right, yeah, I'm getting a little
Bro,
too baby
if all the white chicks think pumpkin spice latte hits when it's cold, nah, you gotta go to Naruto Ramen and get you a bowl of that curry ramen like mid-December in the morning.
Oh yeah, tell him. It's true. All the ramen is pretty solid though, but I mean in general, like it's just so fun getting ramen too. Like I mean, it's pretty much ramen's like pretty much in like every anime too that kind of shows them eating food, which is nice. So I mean, it's hard not to like crave that. Kind of like what Nick said, when you're watching anime and like a food scene pops up, you're getting hungry. Like there's no doubt about that. And like usually you're craving what they're eating. And the easiest one to make or get is usually ramen over here. I mean, it's beautiful.
There was one specifically where I probably gained so much weight just watching and binging that show. Shokugeki.
Shokugeki, yes.
Food Wars, man.
Food Wars, hands down the best.
The way they made like the light shimmer off the broth and
Yes.
food, and like the sizzling pork
Oh,
belly.
God.
It just looks so good.
Hands down the best. Probably the best food anime, hands down. I don't think nothing's coming to my mind as far as like if there's any anime that like concentrates on food that beats it. My boy Soma knows how to throw down, man. Yukihira Diner.
I would be watching it at like 2 a.m. All I have is a block of cheese in the fridge, but I don't really care.
A block of cheese.
It's making me so hungry that I'm just biting into that.
I was going to say, this guy's just shredding trees, trying to make it all fancy. Just putting it on a paper plate probably, huh? That's how I'd be.
Put like a zest of ketchup on top of it.
Yeah. Oh, you know I don't know if you remember about what do they call it? The mapu tofu? I'm not even the biggest fan of tofu, honestly. I prefer not to eat it.
No.
But like that dish, though, oh my goodness gracious, man. It just looks so delicious, and I just want it so bad.
Have either of you guys ever had a Korean barbecue? Like where you straight up cook it right there on the dish?
Yeah, Korean barbecue's fun and good. It's delicious.
The best ones were they like, okay, for 2 hours, it's all you can eat for this set price.
We need to have those.
All right.
They need to have those more here, like everywhere. You know what I mean? Like I could go walk across the street and it's right there because that stuff is delicious. Also, I think of Naruto too with that choji.
Oh,
with that type of barbecue. Tyler, have you ever seen Food Wars?
No, I was gonna say I need to hit that one up. I've heard nothing but good things about Food Wars, but I just haven't made it around to it yet. How many episodes is it?
Was it like 3 seasons or 4 seasons?
3 seasons.
Nothing crazy too long. So
going
I think
on the 4th.
Yeah, something that you could watch pretty quick. I do give you warning, man, because the food is so delicious and good that clothes just pop off. Okay. They don't show anything. Don't get me wrong, but there be some naked bodies sometimes, and it's
a little pervy.
It's a little pervy, exactly. But I mean, I'm not complaining.
I mean, that's as to be expected when you're watching anime. Like sometimes you're watching Fairy Tail or One Piece, and you're what's really going on here?
And that seems to be always when your wife walks in.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they're like, "What the heck are you watching?"
Oh, you know the other one I want to eat bad from that anime? That gotcha, was it pot roast or pork roast or whatever it was called?
Oh.
About that one, remember he like wraps in bacon, but it was just like all potatoes in the middle. Oh, dang it, man!
Just carbs on carbs.
You know this anime like inspires me to like cook more and like want to do like crazy stuff like that. And usually I'm just too lazy still, so it doesn't get done. But sometimes I throw it down, man. Sometimes I'll throw it down.
But then I go actually try to cook, and the toast comes out all burnt.
The toast,
and then like the cereal I mixed wrong or something. Give up right away.
You put the orange juice in the Lucky Charms and throw the mayonnaise in the Cocoa Puffs.
Do you guys cook a lot, or who's the one that does the cooking at your guys' house?
Well, prior to COVID, I was doing a pretty good grilling game. But then when our grills got locked down, unfortunately, I gotta say my girl had to start putting team on her back, and I need to step it up a little bit. But yeah.
So you're the griller, though.
Yeah,
you're the griller.
I'm choji out here, bro. I'll throw some pork belly on the grill. I'll throw some beef, some applewood bacon, some bratwurst.
What?
Ooh.
What?
Yeah, let's go. You know what? Tyler doesn't even know about that food, man. This guy probably makes unseasoned steak or some weird stuff
what
like
the
that.
heck, boy?
What you know about that chili, though?
Yeah.
This guy don't know nothing about that chili.
Man, I moved to Arizona. We ain't got no chili. The only thing is chili out here.
AZ, you don't know, man. Come on, that's rough. So if you guys don't know, we all grew up in New Mexico, and the biggest topic or the biggest debate in general, right, or is like our state question is red or green, and that's like pertaining towards like what kind of chili you want. Like usually we pretty much eat it with anything, right, guys?
Like, I mean, you throw it on pizza.
Mashed potatoes.
And we're not talking about like Texas chili beans. We're talking like hot chili peppers.
Hot chili peppers, green and red chili.
Like people will literally buy 4 or 5 bags during the summer, roast it during the fall, slice it up, freeze it, and they'll have green chili all year.
You know what? You know what's crazy? What the one thing that got me hyped about Baruto in the anime is they do a green chili cheeseburger in there. And they need to put more respect, man. They need to say that where that comes specifically. I think they just said it was a Southwest American thing. Come on, man, narrow it down. That burger comes specifically from New Mexico. There's other places like me and Nick are over here living in Colorado right now that try to act like they have chili. Nah, son, not even close, man. You guys got to get that Nuevo Mexico chili. I'm telling you, the best. What's the weirdest thing you guys eat chili on? I'm just curious.
I mean, I'll throw it on a hot dog. I'll throw it on. I tried it in soup one time, like chicken noodle soup. It was all right. I don't think that's the way you're supposed to do it, but it wasn't bad.
Nothing special. Nick, what do you eat? Anything crazy that you tried it on before?
Yeah, our family puts green chili all over the Thanksgiving dinner. So we'll get traditional Thanksgiving stuff, but instead of gravy, we just have green chili. It's got like garlic and chicken broth all over the top of that.
So like green chili sauce. We go hard with red chili in Thanksgiving. So like kind of like you, instead of gravy, we have like red chili on our mashed potatoes, our turkey, mixed in there with our stuffing too. Man, see, I'm getting hungry already.
Out here in Scottsdale, we'll just smear some avocado on our turkey.
That's why no one will remember your name, Tyler. No one will remember it, all right?
But out there in Phoenix, they didn't have too much cultured places. I remember we went and got ramen out there, and it was like tomato soup, and they put corn in it or something.
And
it was pretty terrible.
I did you wrong, bro. But I found another place I'll take you to next time. But yeah, Phoenix is it's gentrification headquarters. It's basically just every type of food you could think of, but Americanized.
You know what? Just thinking about like more food too. We talked about Naruto and curry, because now I'm craving curry ramen, and the curry's still on my mind. But you know what anime that really got me into curry was also Naruto. Specifically that one time when it was, what was it called? The Curry of Life, I think, right? Remember when they have that like side story in Naruto when he goes to that old lady's place and like she makes that like insanely hot, or like I can't tell if it's just insanely hot or if it's actually gross too. But like that curry, then that essentially just heal you. Or I think it almost killed Neji a couple times, but brought Lee back to life and stuff like that.
Yeah, bok choy, baby.
That actually wasn't a bad side story.
So I have I really like a lot. I like Indian curry too, but specifically Japanese curry. I'm really into all that stuff too.
What was that Japanese place we went to in Albuquerque that you took me and D to that one time, and we got seafood curry and mochi balls?
Oh yeah, so that was called Kokoro back in the day, but then they did a name change to Mango Koro. But yeah, that might have been the first ramen shop in Albuquerque about it. But oh man, they have ramen over there. They had curry, which were like the big ones, and they kind of had like tempura boxes and all that good stuff. But yeah, I forgot you guys got the whole experience too, man. That was a good time, and that was a good one to go to. They have really good food there.
So if you guys picked one anime that you got to eat their food, which anime would you pick? Like if you were placed in their world and you got to eat one meal there.
Hands down, Food Wars. Like not Food even Wars. Close. Like no one's even a close second.
I mean, having not seen Food Wars, I would have to go with what I assume is the next best thing, and I'm having Sanji Vinsmoke cook me a 7-course meal, baby. I'll say, give me some ramen, give me some curry, give me some mochi balls, give me some barbecued pork, and just bring out the feast. And I'm sure Food Wars is better, but I'd say that's a pretty close second.
No, I think you might be onto something, because that whole rrestaurant set up out on the sea, kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's
a good spot.
And Sanji's right there, man. Is just cooking. You know what? Yeah. Also, with other food that I always want to eat, but it's kind of like impossible to find, are those big big old things of meat, right? And they just have the bone sticking out from them.
Yeah.
Like you see Goku eat a lot. You see Luffy eat a lot. Like it's in every anime, man. And it's just like, I wish that was reality, because I would love to just chill with a big giant piece of meat that's bigger than my head and just like go to town on it.
I think the closest thing we got to that is like turkey legs, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna buy a whole leg of ham or something.
That'd be like $300.
It's like a whole femur and just all the meat on it still. Just eat. Yeah.
Well, I have seen that in some Mexican taco shops where you walk in and they just have like a revolving meat stick that they cut off onto your tacos. Those places are pretty good.
So hungry. So another, just like some like recommendations too for like animes to watch that kind of have like snacks or food out there. One that I recently watched was about a year ago. It's called Laid Back Camp, and it's not it's not a food specific anime, but it's about these like high school girls that are like in a camping club, and they go out to just camp at like different like camping sites and like near Mount View and stuff like that. And like the animation in it is really beautiful, but then like it's such a relaxing anime, and then when they kind of like bring out food, oh man, it just looks like, I don't know why, it just looks extra good, because you kind of like, I'm kind of like immersing myself in that, and I feel like I'm out in the wild, and you just get that like nice warm. That's a good one to watch. Trying to think what else. Dagashi That's a so dagashi means candy in Japanese, if I remember. But that's a good one. But that one kind of goes over like a lot of snacks, which is pretty cool. Dagashi kashi, I believe, is the full name for it. But that's about like this kid who takes over his family's snack shop, and then like this girl who like owns like a big like like her father is like a big businessman who owns like a lot of stuff. But they're always like trying different snacks, and that's a good one. Watch too, and just kind of get you in the mood of one. So I mean, if you guys ever have to.
If you're of age, there's another good one called Bartender.
Bartender.
Have you seen that one? It aged in like mid 2000s.
Yeah.
But it makes you want some good drinks.
That one's really good actually. I completely forgot about Bartender. That's actually a really good one. That one's up there, man. Just food in general, and then like drinks. Dang, that's a good one. I'm surprised we didn't talk about that earlier.
This might seem like a weird one, but I used to get hyped when in Death Note when L would request his multi-layered plate of pastries and coffee, and he would just sit there and eat donuts and mochi balls and slices of cake. I mean, this dude was just living the life, and our boy Light had to take him out.
That's the stuff that kind of gets you hyped. It's like the little stuff like that. Like, so specifically, I think it was in Spirit Away, but like when the girl is eating like that little steamed bun with like the red bean paste. I don't know if it's just because sometimes like the anime sets the mood, and when they finally like they're eating the food or they're kind of breaking it out, you're like the mood set, and you're just like, oh, I want that too right now. But like a steamed bun, it's good, right? What else, man? Ponyo. I don't know if you guys ever seen Ponyo. That's another Studio Ghibli film. But they do like, it's essentially, it looks like ramen, but they just have like ham in it. Oh, that looked delicious during that. Man, there's a good amount out there. Like, I think every single anime will always kind of have like a food part, right? Like makes your mouth.
I mean, even Tokyo Ghoul, they had that delicious looking ramen shop. It was just, unfortunately they always ate there after someone got murdered. So it kind of had a somber tune, but I was like, oh, I'm trying to go get some of that ramen.
Like cafe place, yeah. You know the other one that it's blanking. Howl's Moving Castle. I think you guys probably seen that one, but the breakfast one is a Calcifer. What is that character? I'm blanking on it, but that breakfast scene. Oh my gosh! And this is just like American breakfast too. So that's one thing I see. I'm like, I could make that right now. I got eggs, I got bacon, all that good stuff. Like, let's get it. Oh man.
I think that's really good though when they add a touch of everyday life to TV shows, movies, or something in general. So just to see people eating kind of adds a touch of reality to what you're watching.
I agree.
And I know that's something that specifically Samuel Jackson does in a lot of his movies. He always takes a bite out of a cheeseburger somewhere. You'll find that in all his movies.
Really?
But he tries to add that as like a touch of bringing it back to, yeah, I still gotta eat.
Yeah. I never noticed that before. I gotta look that up. That's actually pretty. If you guys could make one food, what would it be? Like out of an anime. So we talked about which ones we eat, but like if you could make one, would it be the same food or would it be different for you guys?
I'd probably make that wedding cake from the Whole Cake Island arc in One Piece, bro. This cake's literally like 100 feet tall. Just nothing but whipped cream, chocolate, frosting. It's a butter cake. I mean, I was getting excited just watching it. If I could make that, I'd be pretty happy.
If I could make yakisoba buns look like what they look like in anime.
That's a good one too.
Because they don't really sound appealing, right? It's just fried Japanese noodles on a hot dog bun, basically, right?
Pretty much, yep.
Like, it doesn't sound great, but they make them look so good.
Makes it look... You know what bothers me? Like, in Slice of Life animes, where they do the festival ones, those are the other animes where they're on the festival, like, episode, and it's just, like, all that fair food. It's just not fair. It's just not fair at all. Like, you got your...
No pun intended.
Yeah, exactly. You got your dango right there. You got your Mitsuyashi dango with like that sweet like teriyaki sauce. Oh, that's so good. You got the taiyaki, like named the takoyaki, the octopus balls, right? And then you have like the fish shaped cakes with the red bean paste, taiyaki and then takoyaki, however you say them. Those are like words that are like too close for me. Like it's like one letter change. But they're always eating those like at fairs, and it's just I love it and hate it all at this.
I just watched that episode too. I'm watching The Day I Became a God. It's like episode 6. It's a festival one.
Yeah.
Where they just literally go and eat all the food.
Exactly. Those ones are such every single time, and any Slice of Life, and like, they're always gonna.
Which one do you want to be able to make? Noakes?
Oh yeah, if I was, you know what? I want to learn how to make those giant pieces of meat with just the bone sticking out. I don't know what animal I need to find to get that out of, or like what did it do to taste good. But that's all I'm fixated on right now. Just like I just picture myself like roasting it over like a big old fire for like a couple hours. And I'll figure it out. Somehow.
Bro, Gohan used to just find some dinosaurs. If we could just get you a T-Rex, you could, take a sniper shot in the butt cheek, cook him over the fire, cut off one of those legs, you'd be set.
Do you think a human-produced flame makes the food taste different? Like if Natsu uses his powers on a piece of meat, will it taste different than like cooking it over the fire?
It has to. Wasn't that on an anime? I can't remember. I feel like I've seen this on an anime somewhere before. But like they've used like their own fire, but it just doesn't make food taste good, so they always have to make their own.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like I feel like that's on an anime. I mean, I'm sure someone will let us know that if it was, but I'm kind of blanking. I feel like I've heard of that before.
Well, I know I'm talking a lot about One Piece, but in One Piece, like that dude that had the devil fruit where he could, slice a rock and turn it into a ham. They said his food didn't taste as good as like an actual ham plate. So I don't know. Maybe if he Dragon Fire Fists you a plate of ramen, it might just not taste the same.
That would be a nice. I mean, that would be a cool superpower in general. Anyways, like, could you imagine just like, oh, I'm gonna turn this bottle into like a turkey leg? Oh man, I would probably weigh 700 pounds by now, man. Like,
yeah, we'd be on my 700-pound life instead of this podcast.
That'd be too dangerous. Oh man, so I mean, as you can tell, everyone, we're passionate about food. We've done some crazy stuff together. We've done food challenges with each other before. We've tried eating like 6 pounds of frozen custard before. So I mean, we love talking about. It's always a fun topic.
Yeah. So if you want to go on our social medias and drop down your favorite foods, or tell us where we went wrong, maybe we missed one. I know I haven't seen Food Wars. I'm trash, but you can hit us up on Instagram at Fat Bois Anime. That's Fat BOIS and then anime. And then on our Twitter, you can hit us at Fat Bois Anime, the number 1. No numeral, no spelling, just Fat Bois Anime.
I like it. Any closing remarks that we end off? If you guys got any news or anything to look forward to?
I mean, we've got Dr. Stone dropping. As of right now, AOT, Attack on Titan, they're getting ready to drop the 3rd episode. I mean, this is going to be a big year for anime. It's going to be fun.
I think AOT is kind of on my top list right now as far as, what I'm going to be recommending everyone to watch. It's the final season. It's kind of, there's going to be a big climax. It's hard not to get into. We're going to be talking about, like we said before, we're going to be talking about that one a lot. So you guys might as well watch it and get ready because we're going to be talking about it.
Yeah, it's going to be bittersweet, but we're moving into a new era. Attack on Titan is hanging up the cleats, and we're going to see who's going to kind of, dominate from 2020 to 2030. So I'm excited.
Now, Nick, if you got anything you recommend for the people to watch this coming week?
I think you already said it, man. Right? Attack on Titan.
That's the big one.
That's the way to go.
I think it is right now, man. I think I wouldn't say there's a lull in anime, but I think everything. I mean, the timing that they dropped this one is kind of weird because I feel like it was almost towards the end of like all these other ones, but these there's like 2 or 3 episodes that some of them have left, and they're like, we're gonna drop it a little early so everyone's focused. And honestly, cool, man. Thank you everyone for tuning in.
All right, catch us next week on Fat Bois Anime. Y'all have a good one.